Hey everyone, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we're going to be resetting for the new year in 4 of my journals. We're going to start with doing a bit of a recap in my 2023 journal because I still have yet to fully fill out my December monthly review. So I'm going to take my little sticky note that I keep on this spread and fill out as I go, so let's start with my December memories. Every month I print out a Polaroid of one of my favorite memories, and in December my boyfriend moved in with me and we got a king-size bed that takes up almost my entire bedroom, but I am in love with it. So I'm pasting down that photo and writing some highlights of the month next to it, which are reaching my goal of 10,000 subscribers, rewatching the Eras Tour movie, and getting together with my whole family on Christmas Eve. After we're done with my memories, we're moving on to everything I've been loving in December. This month I've been obsessed with these king-size sheets from TJ Maxx. They're so soft and buttery smooth. I can't talk about these sheets enough, you need them. Next is a work calendar my sister graphic designed for me at work. She is so talented, I love when she makes me things. The last couple things on this list are Christmas gifts, and I've absolutely been loving my Stanley and Audible, which I'm sure my love for these will carry into January. One movie I felt the need to honor in December is Elf because it's my favorite Christmas movie and it actually turned 20 years old this year, which is wild. I didn't really watch any TV shows in December, but I did watch a whole lot of YouTube, which was mainly 2024 bullet journal setups, because 'tis the season for content creators setting up all their shiny new journals, and I love watching the bullet journal migration videos every year. The only book I finished in December was The Atlas 6, which I listened to, and I don't think I could have read it in any other way. Guys, this book is so good and so interesting and written so well, but there's 6 different perspectives. At one point there's 7, and it can definitely get confusing if you're reading it with your eyes. The audiobook has different voices for each character, which was a lifesaver, but I'd highly recommend this dark academia fantasy read. It low-key reminded me of the movie Now You See Me, just with witches instead of magicians, and it's a little bit darker. So good. For my listening to section, I've been playing the Reputation album to death because the Taylor Swift Reputation concert movie on Netflix was taken off. I'm still a little sad about it, but I love this album. And before getting into my new 2024 bullet journal migrations, I wanted to share this spread of my 2023 memories that I made off camera. I think it came out so fun and doodly, and this is a great way to sum up your year in your bullet journal. I definitely recommend making a spread like this for memory keeping. I just added in my social media follower stats, books read, which should actually be 26. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Vacations that I went on this year, and new experiences. I love how this spread turned out. Now, without further ado, let's get into my goals for 2024. This year, I'm breaking up my goals into 6 categories, which are health, work, finance, bujo, crochet, and cook. My reading goals are going to be in my reading and media journal if you're wondering where those are, so I will get into that later in this video. But for now, for health, I'd like to take a walk at least 2 times a week, which is really hard to find time to do that in my new work schedule, but I'm going to figure that out, and also not have any snacks for 3 days each week. That'll be hard because I'm a person who loves to snack, but I think I can do it. I skipped over work for now to move into my finance goals, which is to build up my savings and pay off as much of my car payment as I possibly can this year. For bujo, I have some general follower and subscriber goals that I don't hold myself too accountable for, as well as specifying that I want my bullet journal to have doodle-based themes and my reading and media journal to have collage-based themes, which I'm very excited for this year. My crochet goals are to make at least one plushie per month, and also to attempt to make a blanket this year. And lastly, my cooking goal for 2024 is to cook dinner once a week. I still live at my parents' house currently, and I need to force myself to learn to cook well before I move into an apartment soon. With all of my 2024 goals written in for now, we're moving on to populating my future log. My future log is a place for me to write any events going on throughout the year so I can carry them over into my monthly spreads as I create them. This includes birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, etc. This is one of the most time-consuming parts of my bullet journal migration process, but it's also important to do because I don't have a regular planner that's already set up for me. I create spreads each month and reference this future log to add in events in the pages I check every single day. One thing I actually found to be super helpful in the future log migration process is to have a list of my family's and friends' birthdays in my junk drawer bullet journal, so I can easily carry that information into my future log year after year. Birthdays are easy because they never change. Holidays, on the other hand, might change dates, like Thanksgiving or Easter. So for those holidays, I reference my phone calendar and write them all down in their corresponding section of each month's column. Something I'm embarrassed to say is that October's calendar is completely wrong in my bullet journal. October 1st is supposed to be on a Tuesday, so every day is just like one day off for that month. Does it hurt my brain so much? Absolutely. Am I going to put in effort to fix it? Absolutely not. I'm gonna be real with you, I honestly don't care enough to rewrite the calendar. When I'm going to just write it all out again when October eventually rolls around, hopefully my calendar will be correct then. After populating all of my 2024 events in my future log, it's time to fill in January's theme doodle and my upcoming appointments, or as I like to call it, my adulting spread. My theme in January was dragons, so I wanted to keep things simple with a drawing of a couple doodles in January's box that follow this theme. I didn't think a dragon would fit well in this little box, so I doodled a dragon egg with some stars and a moon because the theme was very dreamy and whimsical, which you'll actually get to see in a bit when I make it into filling out my monthly spreads. On the adulting side, I'm referencing my 2023 journal to add in my most recent appointments with my doctors, dentist, hairdresser, nail tech, which it's been a while since I got my nails done. I really miss it, but I'm just trying to save money. I also put in the miles my car was at when I last got my oil changed, so I know when I need to make another appointment. With my adulting stuff out of the way, let's start populating my social media trackers for the new year. I filled in the subscriber and follower amount I had on YouTube and Instagram on the 1st of January, and then I started filling in a couple YouTube video ideas for this year. Some of these ideas actually came straight from the comments section, so if you ever have anything you want to see from me, just comment on my video and I'll add them to my video idea list. With a couple ideas filled in, now let's move on to my media tracker or media log or whatever you want to call it. This is a place for me to write down media I want to consume in 2024, not to be confused with the movies I actually watch, books I actually read, and so on. Those will be documented in my reading and media journal as well as my monthly review spreads. I'm writing a few movies and shows I've been told to watch or have seen advertised that I want to watch, and also unintentionally filled in my entire book section with books I want to read this year, including new books and rereads. But that sums up my yearly spreads section for this journal. Now it's time to move my events, goals, and to-dos into my January dashboard. I love that I have this vertical monthly spread that looks like my future log, so I can easily carry over all of my January events. The top 4 boxes are from my goals focus, and I plan to read 3 books this month, which are finishing Iron Flame, which has been taking me forever, but I am slowly working my way through that book, re-listening to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and also listening to Daisy Jones and the Six for the first time. And we'll see if I actually get through them all. My crochet goal is to make a birthday cake themed giraffe, although now I might make a birthday cake themed elephant instead, we'll have to see, and a cookie dough cow, but updates to come on that. I have 4 places to write one meal that I made or plan to make each week, and in my other section I wrote 2023 scrapbook because I haven't even started that yet. And after writing some general to-dos for January, I wanted to share how I fill in my trackers each day because I realized I've never done something like this before and I've been asked to share. Fun fact, I actually filmed this video on January 1st, and I feel like every single time it's the first of the month, I realize I never filled in my habit tracker titles, so that's what I'm doing now before we get into it. I only filled in 9 out of the 11 grids I left for myself, and on this particular day, all I did of these habits was make my bed and write in my daily journal. Not super productive. This particular day, I was grateful for my Nespresso because it's my new favorite thing. I love making coffee in it every morning with it now. Flipping over to the next page, I was a little stressed about going back to work after a couple days off, and I didn't have any health concerns, so I just wrote none in my health tracker. I colored in my day 1 star periwinkle because according to my anxiety tracker key, this is my a little anxious color for this month. Next is filling in my expenses of the day, which I had to complete off camera because I filmed these videos on my phone where my bank app also is. And the last thing I'm doing is checking in with my weekly spread, checking off tasks that I completed and migrating tasks into the next day if needed. And this is a new weekly spread layout for me and I'm loving it so far. By the way, the stickers are from Pretty Little Studios, of course. That's everything I needed to reset in this journal, so now we are going to set up my daily journal for 2024 really quick. I always get asked where this journal is from. I know the cover's gorgeous and it's embroidered, but yes, it's from Rifle Paper Co. This is where I write a little bit about my day every single day, talking about what I'm loving, or even if I need to rant a little bit, this is where I do that. I don't doodle much in this journal, it's purely functional for me, but I did want to have a quick 2024 divider section in here, so that's what I'm working on now. I'm using these stamps to stamp out Hello 2024 in the middle of this page, and I ended up doodling a couple sparkles all around for some visual interest. Super simple, but perfect for migrating this journal into the new year. I also decided to write my journal entry for this day on camera, which is something I've never done. Usually I keep this journal super private, but all I wanted to talk about this day was my new Nespresso, so I didn't mind if this entry goes on the internet. That's it for my daily journal, so let's start the migration process into my last journal, which I'm sharing in this video, and that is my reading and media journal. So I'm starting out this reading bujo migration with a spread dedicated to the books I read in 2023. I read a total of 26 books, most of them actually listening to them on my Libby app, but I still count that as reading and you can't prove me wrong. But what I really wanted to talk about in the spread was how I print out my book cover stickers, because I cannot believe how many people reached out to me asking how I made it, and it's so simple. Literally all I did was save the book covers from Google Images to my computer. I uploaded them into Google Slides. So many people wanted to know the size of my book covers and I literally just eyeballed it, but here's the random sizes I ended up with. My main concern was that the book covers were all the same height, and in Google Slides it's pretty good about giving you a guide of each image, making sure it's the same height, and you just drag the size of the image until it tells you it matches one of the other book covers. I am doing an awful job of explaining this, but that's literally all I did. As for printing, I printed these covers on matte sticker paper that you can just get on Amazon, and I cut them out using either my Cricut sliding cutter thing that I use for scrapbooking and scissors. I kind of just went back and forth between these two, nothing fancy at all, I just tried to keep it easy for myself. As for the star rating stickers, I got these from Pretty Little Studios, and if you want some really cute journal stickers, whether it's for your bullet journal or your reading journal, you can use my rep code CMCG10 for 10% off your order at prettylittlestudios.com. I colored in the star ratings based on how I rated each of my 2023 reads in my last reading journal, and I stuck the stickers below each cover. I love how the spread turned out, and if anyone's curious, my favorite read from 2023 was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and you can roll your eyes all you want, but this book was so amazing. I know it was overhyped this year, and I definitely talked about it way too much personally, but wow, this book was so good, and I will probably reread it in 2024. Now that my books read in 2023 spread is done, let's talk about some of my media and reading goals for the new year. This year, I plan to re-listen to all of the Harry Potter books because I tend to do that every other year or so. I did it in 2020, I did it in 2022, and it's 2024, so it's time to re-listen to all of them. I just love listening to Jim Dale's voice when he narrates the audiobooks. He is unbelievable. He's won awards and so much stuff. I also have Audible now that I got as a Christmas gift and immediately bought all 7 audiobooks, no joke. I also plan to read 10 physical books this year. As I said before, I mainly listen to audiobooks and I wanted to read more of my physical TBR in 2024. We'll have to see how that goes. 3 of those books are actually going to be the first 3 books of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series because I got all the hardcovers for Christmas, and even though I've listened to them like 3 times each, I still haven't read them with my eyes, so that's a goal of mine. Lastly, I want to watch 12 of my favorite movies this year, 1 in each month, so I can make a movie spread for each one in this journal. Pretty excited about all my reading and media goals this year. Now let's finish my book series tracker and the rest of my TBR. I felt so stupid. I realized I had this little circle in my Archer and Olive stencil that I could have been using as bullet points this whole time, but it's fine. The series I'm tracking in the spread are my Harry Potter and ACOTAR rereads, Throne of Glass, which I'm currently on book 3, The Empyrean, which I'm currently on book 2, and Crescent City, which I haven't started yet but really want to get into this year. As for my TBR, I was going to make a list, but I have a written list in my regular bullet journal already, so I wanted to make this one more fun. I took the rest of my book covers that didn't make the cut in my 24 Reads in 2024 spread, and I just stuck the rest of them on this page. I do plan to read these at some point, they're just not as much of a priority as my main 24, but for now, let's move on to my shows to watch tracker, which will be the last spread of this video. The only 2 shows I'm adding are Friday Night Lights and Stranger Things, Things, which are somewhat rewatches for me. I watched some random episodes here and there of each, but never the whole show all the way through, so let's see if I can convince my boyfriend to watch these with me this year. If you made it to the end of this video, please leave a journal emoji. I truly appreciate it when you make it all the way to the end and listen to me rambling on and on throughout all of my YouTube videos. But that's all for me for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal social medias. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!